Welcome, everyone. Hi. I will save the chat, and so can you. You can also save the chat. And sure enough, it says choose video filter. These are your video settings. They have always been there. All the years I've been teaching Zoom, they've always been there. And if you ever want to provide a transcript, you can do that. These are the settings that you should be looking at as a Zoom host. I made this video filter so that I could draw on the screen. I am typing on this shared area. It's like magic. And all of a sudden, Annotate is there. How to launch a poll, a Zoom poll, and a survey. How to set that up. I do know about that. I love how you asked that. Do you know about that? AI Companion is using artificial intelligence right now. From that moment that I turned it on, AI is listening to our content. Here's the answer, Kathy. This is for you. This whole area of Zoom that I specialize in, I'm a Zoom expert, is always changing. Welcome, everyone. Hi. Hi again. Good to see you all. You will be entering muted, just so you know, and feel free to unmute yourself. I do that on purpose so that when I take the waiting room off in a little bit, those who enter in after the starting point, their sound will be muted. So makes it for a better meeting experience. So feel free to unmute yourself as I have a few extra devices connected, and I always like to make sure they are.
So we can say hi, is that what you're saying?
You can say hello, unmute yourself, yep, and say hi.
Do you remember me?
I remember. You were in the front on my right.
Asked all the questions.
Hey there, Sandra. Hi, Mark. I haven't said hello to you personally. Nice to see you.
Thank you for doing this.
You're welcome. I had mentioned this when we were all together in October, and my schedule allowed it. Sandra got it all together for me, got you all the notice communicated out, which is great. So yeah, and I got everybody registered. That was the thing. This has registration attached to it. So a lot of you had seen the link and thought, oh, I just saved that. That's the link I use when I connect. And it's actually, this is a really good way to, when you run a Zoom meeting, to attach registration. And as you could see, I asked you some questions ahead of time. Thank you for all your answers. It's a way of doing a pre-assessment. So I'm kind of getting you to experience it and also showing you at the same time, because you do a pre-assessment before people come into your classes, and I get a sense of those who answered, nope, haven't touched that yet. Oh, that was October. Is it December? How did that happen? Which is why a follow-up is so great. So thank you for being here and committing to this time together. Please put in the chat here in our Zoom here. We'll use the chat, and you can certainly put your questions in there. If you don't want to ask, verbally, you can certainly write them in there. I prefer it if you just ask me. It's easier for me to hear it from you than to read it, but I will save the chat, and so can you. You can also save the chat. So right off the bat, I want to make sure you know how to save the chat. So for instance, I'm going to put in there, I asked Sandra if I could do this. I have a few things to gift you today, because I like doing that. And one of them is this, it's a virtual filter overlay. And so I'm going to put right now in the chat, I'm going to put in, that's a Canva link. So all you have to do is just click on it, and it's going to open up in your browser window. It might open up if you have multiple monitors, computer monitors, it might open up on another monitor. It might open up in front of me, and so you're still hearing me, you just don't see me anymore, and you'll just locate, I'm in Zoom, and that's going to open up in your web browser. And what exactly is that? Well, Zoom has these, they're called video filters. And here it is. I'm going to turn it on right now. There it is. So as a member of the Real Estate Educators Association, we had our annual, or probably third annual, at least 3 with me, a holiday virtual party. And it was a hat contest. And I have since moved from the East Coast here to Arizona, and I didn't have any holiday hats. So I made a virtual one. And so there it is. And it's actually a part of a Canva template. I added the Christmas tree and I added the lights, and the template I gave you, you can edit it. You can take out the Christmas tree, you can put in a menorah, you can put in candles, you can put in a snowman. Well, an indoor snowman, that would be kind of funny, but you can put in anything you want. You can put in just glitter, and it's editable in Canva. And the template, okay, I am recording this also, just so you know. I will provide you the link to the recording. The instructions, there we go. So the instructions for getting this inside your Zoom account so that you can click on it I'm going to also put in the chat. Where are the video filters? That's what I want you to know right now. So I'm going to share my screen with you. I'm going to just jump right in, teach you stuff right off the bat. So I'm going to share my screen with you right now like this so that you can see what I see. And that's why you might have two bars at the bottom now, because one of them is my bar. That's the first one you see, because I'm now showing you exactly what I see. I have this setting. It's one of the settings in Zoom where you can do this. So if you have any instructors that you're also teaching and you want to show them the Zoom bar, it's a good setting to turn on. And I want to show you where this is. So if you go down to the bottom, Jill, you want to have your own recording? You do? Okay. There you go. You can record locally. Okay, there we go. Sorry, I turned off my video. So if you click on the little arrow next to the stop video button, if you click on that little arrow next to the stop video button, you get this menu that pops up. And sure enough, it says choose video filter. And when you do that, the choose video filter, these are your video settings. They have always been there. All the years I've been teaching Zoom, they've always been there. We've had things like, I was showing people this one, you know, there's this, there's the pirate's eye. It's kind of fun. There's all these different filters, and you can, if you're doing a graduation with your instructors, you can do that one, or with your students, your agents or your brokers, you can do that one. Anyway, all of these video filters are in there. Feel free to enjoy them. And here's like a little reindeer for today. So if you want to use the one that I gave you as a download, you can see here, let me bring this on over. Yeah, I'll keep my hat on. All right, so right there next to keyboard shortcuts is an extra row that I have of filters. You see the first row says none. You probably have that first row. And then the second row, you're like, Betsy, where'd you get those options? Those are added in your Zoom account. And let me show you where. So I'm also, just while we're here, I'm going to take off the waiting room, just so you know that's what I'm doing. As a host, I have the security button in my host toolbar. And when I click on security, I can just disable the waiting room. And now anybody who comes in a little late, I don't have to bother monitoring the waiting room. This link is specific to the Utah IDW participants. So I don't have to worry about security or does somebody get in that shouldn't have the link. So now I'm going to take you to where you put it in. And you're going to go to your Zoom account on the web. And when you get to your Zoom account on the web, you're going to go all the way down that left sidebar to where it says account management. And then underneath there, you're going to do account settings. Now, just a show of hands in here, you could use the digital hand if you want, the digital raise hand that should be in your toolbar along the bottom. Tell me something just with a raised hand, just keep it up there. How many of you are the admin on your Zoom account? And I mean, you have this section on the left sidebar. The reason I'm pointing this out to you is because this section here, account settings, that area there is only available to the admin on the account. So if you are an instructor for an association or there's a separate account that you show up in, they send you the link, then if you had the login for that account, you wouldn't be seeing this, you know, and they would have to have you on their account as a user. That's separate from them inviting you in. So I just wanted to point that out to all of you who are having trouble finding this section. Okay, so once we're there, again, we're looking for video filters. So what you're going to do is you're going to scroll all the way down and you're going to feel like this is endless. But you're going to scroll and scroll and scroll. This is the advanced section of meeting settings. And you know you're getting close because you'll see the Golden Gate Bridge, you'll see the space, you'll see that little, beach scene. These are common. A lot of people use these as their virtual backgrounds. And right underneath there, it says manage custom filters. There it is. Now, mine are there. They kind of have really funny looking thumbnail images, those little squares, because they don't have any backgrounds. So as promised, let's see, I'm going to stop my share. I'm going to put the instructions into the chat for you. So what you can do at the end of today is you can save the chat. And if you don't know how to save the chat, you're going to, here it is, here I'm back again. If you don't know how to save the chat, go all the way down to the bottom. You can do this now. You can do it multiple times throughout today so you don't forget. Well, we're on for an hour. But in the bottom there, make sure you do this before you leave today. You click the 3 dots in the bottom, and then in the menu there, it says Save Chat. Yep. And then when you do that, it tells you here that it was saved, chat saved. And then it for a brief couple of seconds, it says either show in Finder, you Mac people, or it says show in Folder if you're a Windows person. And that's located in your files and folders where all of your files are kept. Diane, do you have an additional question or no? Okay. So if you want to lower your hand, thank you for indicating that you're an admin on your account. You can lower your hand. There you go. Beautiful. All right. Are there any questions for me on the virtual filters? I see some of you have tried them. Really fun around the holidays. Really fun for your students. Great on a break if you're doing Zoom classes and you just kind of want to mix it up a little bit, get people to laugh, get that oxygen flowing. This virtual is something really unique that not a lot of people know how to do. So I wanted to gift that to you. All righty. So once again, any questions on the video filter overlay? No. Okay. They all say. And before I forget, I also want to share this link into the chat. Stay to the end. I mean, if you can't, there it is. That's my training. So I have a digital product and it's jam-packed with over 15 hours of video. Right now, it only has less than that because what I'm doing is I'm adding to it. Zoom has added on notes and whiteboards and AI features, and there's even a transcript today. So if you need a transcript, you can view the full transcript by going down to the Show Captions button. There's an arrow next to that. And if you ever want to provide a transcript, you can do that. Again, let me give you a little tour of, I'm going to just take off my filter just so that I don't have as busy a screen for you. Just make it a little simpler. There you go. Anyway, here is, let me make sure you're seeing what I'm seeing. You are. Right there is the transcript. And at the end of today, see at the bottom, it says Save Transcript. You could actually take a transcript with you today of everything that was said. And you can provide this to your students as well in your Zoom meetings. And the place you get it is right here. See, it says CC. If you click right on CC, that's if you need the closed captions. So if you wanted to, you have something going on in your office right now and you can't listen to me and you just want to listen to the words, that's one reason. It's also, of course, there for accessibility. If you have somebody that is hearing impaired and needs to have the ability to see what is being said, the closed captions is there and you can display it in different colors if you'd like. You can turn on the transcript though by clicking on the little arrow next to the CC button. And then in the menu, it'll say view or show transcript. Mine says close, but because mine's open right now. And what's great about it is once you open it, don't have to leave it on the screen the whole time. You can, there's a little X up there in the top right corner. You can close it. You don't have to have it on the screen. If you want to put the chat up instead and have that over there, you can certainly do that. You can put the chat over there on the side instead. And before you leave today, when you go back to the transcript, see view full transcript, when you go back to it, it will have kept up with us the whole time, even though it was not in view. And then the very bottom there, it says save. And when you click save, there is a prompt. It says transcript saved. And where does all these go? They go to your documents folder on your computer. That's where they go. So your documents folder has a Zoom folder. And inside the Zoom folder, there is a folder for every single meeting that takes place. Yeah. And in there, you can have the saved chat will be in there, the saved transcript, anything that you save will end up, you can even save whiteboards.
There's also an internal Zoom file. Does it save in there as well? Because sometimes I forget to clear that out and then it gets full.
Yes, there's an internal Zoom file, meaning like when you say file, you mean like a folder?
It saves every Zoom meeting internally. And then sometimes if I forget to clear those out,
Yes.
then all of a sudden something doesn't record because I saved my trainings.
Yes.
And sometimes they don't record because I allowed that internal Zoom folder file to get too full.
Yes. Okay. So, so thank you, Diane. The reason I asked for file versus folder is because in computer terms, the container, the Zoom container, I'm going to show you right now. I have a Mac, and so it would look like this. Let me just give you a new share and go over to my desktop so that you can see it there. There we go. Just display it there. That should be clear enough. This is for Mac users. When you're looking at your Finder, that's where all your stuff is displayed. And there's the Zoom folder right there at the top. You can see Zoom. And I was just in a meeting earlier today. And so there it is. We were in a coaching. And so you see all the 2023s. That's what Diane's talking about. These are all folders, by the way. They're not files. The files, if we go inside the folder, those are the files. So you see how there's a chat file and there's already a closed caption text file, because I just saved them to show you. If you keep saving throughout the meeting, you don't get additional files in there. You just get the last version before the Zoom meeting ends. So you really need to make sure, if you're a participant, that you're saving before you exit. Or you can contact the host, and if they have settings set, or all of you with me today, I know Ruth said this, she's like, I need to figure out how to schedule one of these. I want to send out the invites and hold my own event, Betsy. So when you are the host, you can turn on a setting that says, please save the chat automatically. And then you don't even have to think about it. Your meeting ends, and then you get the text file. So
where is that setting to save the chat automatically? And then the other question I was going to have is, so when we host a meeting, you're saying that I can actually have that recording saved on our computer, the whole meeting. So, I mean, problem is, what about an 8-hour class? That's probably a huge file. Well, that may be more storage, or how's that work?
Yeah. Great question, Andrew. And is it Andrew or Andy? It's Andrew.
It's Andrew. Yeah.
Andrew. Okay. Just want to double check. So there are two options to record. You can record locally to your computer, the computer that you're hosting from, or you can record to the cloud. And your cloud space, every paid account comes with cloud space. Granted, the minimum is only 5 gigabytes. And so an 8-hour class will be recorded in there, but it'll fill up the cloud after the class. All you have to do then is just download it from the cloud and then delete it from the cloud, and your cloud is filled up again. If you record to your computer locally, yes, you need to make sure that you have about 5 gigabytes, which most laptops do. You know, you probably, I hope on your laptops, everybody, you have at least 10 gigabytes available or more. If your laptop's getting full, then that's a whole laptop issue that you want to come see me about, your equipment and all of that. So the only thing, Andrew, is that when you record locally, yes, there'll be space on your computer for the recording, but it processes once the meeting ends. And so you see this message on the screen and it says, recording is being processed. And that could hold you up for a good hour, like for an 8-hour class. I mean, the processing time for an hour, I do coaching sessions with people, one-on-one coaching sessions, and I record them so that you have the recording from your coaching session. It takes like 20 minutes for an hour session. So I always advise that if you have cloud space, record to the cloud. That's what I'm doing right now. If you all go to your participants box right now.
So is that a Zoom cloud that comes with the account, or is that just is recorded to any other cloud surface? I'm sorry, I don't understand.
No, good question. It is your Zoom cloud space. So let me show you that here. I am displaying from let me go back to our Zoom settings. There they are. Let me just make sure you're seeing what I'm seeing. And I can do that in the preview in my share bar. Beautiful. And look at here, Andrew and everybody, in my Zoom web portal on that left sidebar, you see how it says recordings there, Andrew? If you're logged into your Zoom account, look on the left sidebar a little bit further up. You can see I'm demonstrating it here for you into the meeting, and everything down the left there. Even Ruth, I'm going to have you pay attention here too, because once you get into your pro account, you asked me earlier, I think you said, how do I schedule my own meeting? And that is with the meetings item on the left. You can also schedule webinars. That's when no one shows up on camera or on microphone. That's what a webinar is. And it's an extra cost per month. So you pay Zoom an extra cost per month to have webinars as opposed to these. We're in a meeting right now. And then Andrew, go down a little bit further, you'll see recordings. You see that there?
Mm-hmm.
And so here we are. I'm recording in the cloud right now. You can actually, you'll see my name in the participants list, and there's a little cloud icon right now with a little red dot in it, and it's pulsating. That tells you that this meeting is currently being recorded. And there's a cloud symbol, which tells you that it's being recorded to the cloud. You'll also see a recording notification in your top left corner. That just tells you that there's a recording. You also had to okay it when you came in. Yeah.
So when you hit the record button, will it give you the prompt to say, where would you like to record?
That's correct.
Okay.
Yep, that's correct. As long as you have these, I mean, usually I do account edits and audits, I should call it audits with people. And I work with you one-on-one and we go through all of your settings. And usually cloud recording, the ability is usually turned on. What you usually don't have is this. If I go to settings, I'm just going to demonstrate here. These are the settings that you should be looking at as a Zoom host, as an educator, regulator, administrator, whatever your role is for local county or state, is that you should know what your account settings are if you want to start or continue holding engaging, profitable Zoom events. And you can see here, I'm demonstrating the account settings. And that's by clicking on settings on the left side of the screen. And then across the top, there's a section that says recording. And so when I go through here, see, Andrew, how it says local and cloud? This is just to give you the ability in the meeting later to have both options.
So if I didn't want to ever do it locally because I don't want to make a mistake for the processing time, I could just undo that, and then it would always would it default then to cloud if I hit recording? I'd still have to select the location.
You'll see, yeah, still see it there. I would never recommend that though. I would always keep all of these settings on. I want you to have major flexibility at the time that you're in a meeting. It's like flying a plane. I would never like take away a chunk of that dashboard in your car or the plane. Like you always have like anti-slip or ABS availability in your car when you need it. So I would never have you turn something off. I would just always have it there. And then of course, come to me for proper training and we'll make sure you never make a mistake. It's glitch free when I teach you and guide you. But in here, this is what I want you to see underneath cloud recordings. Oh, there we go. So Ruth has requested to record this locally. And if any of you want to click the record button right now, as a participant, you can't record to the cloud today. You are not hosting. So it doesn't go to your account. The cloud recording is going to my account. But you could go away today with your own local recording. And at this point, we're about halfway through. So it would be like a 30-minute recording. And then you could see what it would feel like and look like. And if you want that, just click the recording button now and it will send, it'll say you have to ask the host for permission. Nobody can record your meetings without yeah.
Is there a way to disable that? Okay, so if you have participants and you don't want them to be able to annotate, I mean, I know I have to go in there, it seems like every time, and stop them from doing that because they write on my screen. Is there a place that I can remove some of these? Because like the NMLS for licensing purposes, they can't record it. And I don't want to have 100 people saying, hey, can I record? Hey, can I record? Hey, can I record? That'd take up so much time. Is there a way to disable these features down below for certain things?
So first of all, here I'm going to allow Larry the recording. Andrew, they can't record. When it comes up, I just missed it. I should have taken a screenshot. I can deny it. So Andrew, could you just do me a favor right now and click on the record button, please? And there we go. So now I'm sharing into the meeting exactly what I'm seeing. Here's his request. So each of you, as you request, see, I can deny it there.
Yeah.
And also, Andrew, see how it says apply these permissions to all future requests. So,
so the first person that hits it in the meeting, once if I do that, then it's not going to allow anybody to do it then.
you got it.
Great.
So for now, I'm just going to say allow so that, Andrew, you can have a recording.
No, I don't want to record it. Well.
It's okay. No, it's okay. You can stop it now. You have the ability to stop recording. See how the button at the bottom now says pause or stop on your own toolbar?
No, I don't see that yet. So it mustn't have started it then.
Hold on.
Oh, there it is. Yeah. Okay.
There
Well,
you
maybe
go.
I do. I want to see where it goes locally on the computer though. So this will be good.
Yeah.
I want to find the drive, the file for it. So I'll leave it recording. That's fine.
Yeah, let me just do it on my own device here because sometimes I see it does take about 5 seconds before you see the button after I've given you the ability to do that. So the other thing that, you asked me about annotating. So that is located. Now, again, I'm sharing into this meeting what I see so that you can learn from me. And this share bar, none of you have this share bar. And you only get this when you're sharing screen. And typically you're not sharing you into the meeting. You're usually sharing your PowerPoint. You're sharing, like I just did, a web browser. You're sharing, I don't know, a PDF, a video. But you have this share bar. So Andrew's question, the very far right of the share bar is the more button. And see if I can...
They moved that annotation location. I have not been able to refine it. And I have occasionally, it pops up on the screen and I try to erase it and I can't find it.
Okay, well, that's so time. That's a separate question. The first question was, how do I disable it so that my participants cannot annotate and draw on the screen? And that is located under more, right there, disable annotation for others. And all you would do is you would click. Now I'm going to start annotating. And here's another filter that I made that I love. I showed you video filters earlier. This is one I made with this one. There we go. So I made this video filter so that I could draw on the screen and I could just talk about it. It's right there. Usually when you do a whiteboard, you're like this tiny little box. And this way I'm on the screen with you. Normally my share bar would not be right there in front of everything. And when I turn on annotating, Andrew, just because he asked this question specifically, if we wanted to do some brainstorming here, like brainstorming 2024, virtual classes, I don't know, let's say we're just talking here. I am typing on this shared area. Now, if I wanted you to participate in this annotation exercise, I would have you all go to your green bar at the top of your screen where it says view options, and you normally would see annotate there. But you don't, because I've turned off annotating. You cannot. I have disabled it. So Andrew, right now, nobody can draw on my screen. I'm the one totally in charge of annotating. Nobody can do it. However, I'm going to turn it back on. I'm going to enable it. Now, go to view options, please. Let's see how it's like magic. And all of a sudden, annotate is there.
I don't see view options. I don't know. I see
You're
Where
going to
is
look at the very top of your screen. I want you to look for the skinny green rectangle. It's like almost off
Oh,
your
it's over on your screen. I've got 3 monitors, so I couldn't
okay,
see.
it's in the Zoom meeting. Yes, so it's wherever I don't know, your view button, your timer. Yeah, if you've got multiple monitors going on, it's not the share. Yeah, I see what you mean, because I'm probably appearing now on 2 monitors, and I do have the ability to clear all drawings. So like that. So if I were to start again and guide you through this, so like we're going to do 2024 virtual class ideas, and then instead of scribbling, I'd like you to use the T button in your annotate toolbar. You see it like right there. There's a T. No, I'm not.
I don't know how to get rid of the pencil.
Here, let me do something first. You're going to locate your annotate toolbar. I'm going to take mine off so that mine doesn't get mixed up with yours, because right now you've got a lot of stuff going on your screen. And what I'm going to do also is I'm going to spotlight myself so that now no matter who talks, you can ask me your questions and I'll be the only one shown on the screen. And so what you're going to do is, let me annotate from here and see what you're seeing. When you click annotate, the annotate toolbar, now mine's gone. So now yours is on the screen on the left. And the second button from the top is a letter T. Please go ahead and click that. And now when you bring your pointer to this white box, I want you to click with like your mouse pointer almost looks like a capital I. And then I want you to type your idea for a virtual class. So I'm going to do in 2024, I'm going to do curriculum planning for Zoom classes, because I have people.
So there was a delay. That's all. That wouldn't work.
Yeah, it's a little delay. Sometimes you have to click outside of your box that you're typing in order for it to show up for everybody. Yeah.
How did you get rid of the double or the screen where it shows the other person speaking? How did you get rid of that? So in other words, sometimes it shows the person speaking and we only want to show the instructor. How did you do that? In other words, when I was speaking, I popped up as a video because I had 3 monitors. How did you get rid of that? Because it's not doing that anymore.
Let's see. I mean, right now I am sharing. So I'm sharing. Let me stop the share and just see if that changes your experience. Did that
I'm talking. Nope. Because when I talked, I saw myself on one of the monitors.
That's
but now I no longer do. You said you got rid of that. What do you remember that setting you did?
Well, I mean, that's a multiple monitor situation.
Okay. Sorry about that.
That's okay. No, if you're using the dual monitor setting, then you're seeing the active speaker who is, I'm the one talking. So my share and my live video are on one of your monitors because I'm the active speaker. The minute Andrew speaks, he's the active speaker. And then he's going to be on that one monitor with that's what the dual monitor setting does. If you don't have that setting, you can still use multiple monitors. You just don't have the active speaker in addition to the gallery on 2 different monitors. That's what it does. All right. It's like a fire hose at you today, all this stuff. So what other questions we have? I'm going to turn off this filter here. So we learned a little bit about annotating.
You said a whiteboard versus that filter. So if I don't have that white piece of paper that you have, and I'm assuming that it's a picture of a paper like a JPEG and then it shows up there. Is that all you did? Or
actually, no, Andrew, the template that I gave you earlier in the chat, I believe you were present when I put that template in the chat. That's a virtual filter overlay. That white box is a virtual filter overlay. And if you would like, I'm actually going into my Canva account. I have a different template for that virtual filter overlay. And I made these in Canva because I think they're fabulous. And that way you can type on the screen. You could type on your own backdrop, but it wouldn't show up because you see my furniture in the background. So I made these. Is that something you would like? The Zoom filter overlay. Let me grab that for you. And here it is. It's on page 3. So let me Let me grab that for you, the template link. And I'll put that in the chat. So this is the Zoom filter overlay. And this is going to give you the box on the screen. And then what I want you to do is download page 3 with a transparent background. So you're going to need to know a little bit of Canva. And if you have questions about Canva, then you may want to consider come seeing me in my tech club through January. I meet live every Monday, and it's like live tech support. You can ask anything at Canva, Google. You can ask me where I travel to. I don't know. So if you want to learn Canva, there's lots of ways. There's even YouTube videos I can tell you that you can learn Canva from, but I do teach it in my tech club. So now,
how do we join your tech club?
Good question, Andrew. Well, if there is a bundle I have right now with my Zoom Mastery training, and you get a free month of the tech club, that's the link that I put in earlier. If you don't need Zoom Mastery training and you just want the tech club, then I will put that link in the chat for you when I get myself the link up on the screen here.
I'm sorry, I'm asking a lot of questions. I hope other people aren't upset with me. I'm just trying to ask.
It's okay. It's okay. I'm chuckling because now I know I'm getting to know you pretty well. That it wasn't just a thing in Park City, was it? It's okay. You know what? I always say the best way to teach is when you're asked questions. And I'm going to put this in the chat from my Windows computer, so it's going to show up from a different device. This is, now you can see here what I also like to do in the chat is I like to label when I put things in there. So this is the Master Tech Club, which is live tech Zoom support. I don't know if I write that right. Every Monday, all the time. And then you also get all recordings. You get lots of stuff. You get an answer vault. Anyway, there's all kinds of great stuff in there. So that is the link. It's like, what else can you get with Betsy? So that's that. And if you want Zoom Mastery training, right now, I have this great offer. That's the link up above. You get a free coaching session with me and free 30 days in the tech club. So that's the other link. Okay. Everybody else is so quiet. What else is going through your minds? The questions that you submitted to me were fabulous. One of them was how to launch a poll, a Zoom poll, and a survey, how to set that up. And what that looks like, now that we're live in Zoom, I know we had a lot of these questions inside our classroom when we were together. And right here, I'm going to launch this one into the meeting right now. So there's an example of a poll. I use it as an icebreaker. So I've called this devices. What device are you using today? Because that's important for me to know. Are you on Windows or are you on a Mac? So instead of me asking you in the chat, and then I have to go through and read all the answers, this gives me a percentage, which is much easier and much cleaner to do it that way. So launching a poll, I'm going to show you how to create this. You can have any kind of icebreaker. I have another one where I teach agents and brokers how to have an online state of the market inside Zoom. And one of the questions they might want to know from the people who have been invited, are you a buyer or a seller? And so the poll could be as simple as that. Are you a buyer or a seller? And then when the poll is done, you can actually send them into their own breakout room, all the buyers in one room, all the sellers in another. And if you had extra speakers with you, extra instructors or agents, or even, administrators, you can have them do a presentation in those rooms for them. So really great ways to use Zoom. Look at that. Everybody here is on Windows. Fabulous. So thank you for participating in that. I'm going to share the results with you so you can see what I was seeing. There we go. And in a Zoom poll, first of all, you get real-time feedback right here. And I can even, everybody answered so quickly, but if you had a case where you were asking them in a CE class, for instance, and you had maybe a straggler, you could talk them through it and say, you know, please make sure you click submit. And, you know, because you can see if you got 100% people to participate, the place that that is located is also in your Zoom portal. And I'm going to take you there right now. So we've been inside the Zoom portal quite a bit today, and you can see what a big part it plays, not only in I got a little lag there. There we go. There's a little lag there. Okay. So now down the left-hand side, you can see I'm on surveys. So polls and quizzes and now surveys, brand new to Zoom are the surveys. A survey, by the way, is, I think they're looking at the entire category as surveys, surveying your audience. And you can do that in 3 different ways. With a poll, which is what I just ran for you. With a quiz, which is where you want to say, like I know Ann Atkin was here earlier. I don't know if she's still here. She and I were working one-on-one with some projects of hers. And we were working on like Poll Everywhere. So you can do this inside Poll Everywhere. That's an option. Or if you're like, you know what, I don't want to start up a whole Poll Everywhere account. I don't want them over there. I don't want to put them in PowerPoint. I just want to run them right here natively in Zoom. And so we were doing ones like she asks questions about code of ethics and the articles. And so we were putting together some questions and we wanted to indicate which questions were right, you know, so that when they click it, they're told whether they're right or not. And that's a quiz as opposed to a poll. A poll is just assessing your knowledge, you know, and then a quiz is actually giving them the ability to see if they're right or wrong. And finally, a survey right here, these are brand new to Zoom, everybody. So if you are just noticing this term in here, this now is rivaling a Google form. So you can see here, I have a buyer state of the market, as I explained to you. And this would be, let me just get in there so you can see an example of one. Simple, like I did Google Forms with you. Are you considering buying a new home in 2024? Yes or no, or I'm not sure, but interested in what is needed. So if you wanted to send that out with a link, you can now do that inside Zoom. There is a way that you can share the link. And I'm just going to go back.
Well, now that you have this in Zoom and in Google, can you differentiate the purposes of why would you use one versus the other? But
Sure.
Google would be offline. You don't have to be in a Zoom. This is only for Zoom when you're in a Zoom.
Sure.
Right?
Right. The reason, Andrew, there's a couple of reasons, but right off the bat, when you can have everything contained in one account, first of all, simplicity, less tech overwhelm. There's less accounts to figure out. Maybe I don't do Google Drive and I don't know. I've never really used my Google folders and I'm just not sure, but I'm in Zoom every day and I use Zoom polls and I'm using Zoom whiteboards and now I have Zoom surveys. So that would be probably the most obvious reason to go here first. Second of all, if you have, I don't know, pre-licensing, post-licensing, I don't know if anybody here does that, but if you're seeing a group of students over a course of time and you have multiple meetings with them, right? Lots of Zooming with them, it may gear it towards keeping it all in Zoom. So it's all in one place because then all of their Zoom accounts, you can share all of this with them, the whiteboards, and then of course your survey. So even though the survey has a link, like I just shared in the chat, which you could share out to anyone, you could put it in an email, you could put it in your comment thread inside your learning management system. You could put it in, I mean, anywhere. It's an external link. Even though it can work that way, it may just be easier for you to keep everything under one roof here in one umbrella. In a sense. So, you know, then I always say, you know, I'm a tech educator and I have been for over 35 years. So I definitely know that there's more than 5 ways to do everything. You could sit and debate me on, well, why can't I use this, Betsy, instead of that? It's like, you can, you're just going to find the one you like best and you're going to go with that. So that probably would be also part of my answer.
So can I ask this again? So I clicked on your little link. This is just a sample, or is this how it would pop up in the class or is this, or you just are giving us the sample look of it? What is this purpose of what you just clicked on?
Okay, so this is an actual survey. That's an actual survey from Zoom. So when you create one and I added 2 questions, that's what it's going to look like. That is what it's going to look like. So you're going to have, it says at the top that it's anonymous. These are the settings. There's 2 questions. You click on it. You get to tell me, go ahead and do it. You can just pretend that you are considering buying a house. Yes. Are you considering selling it? No. Whatever. This is just sample. So when I say sample, these are like sample questions. I'm not really doing this. We're not in an actual state of the market, but I want you to click submit so that then I can show you over here fabulously inside your Zoom account that where you see on the screen here, I'm just going to refresh it. So there it is, buyer state of the market. I've got, look at 9 responses. I ran this the other day with another real estate commission. So it's just cumulative, right? So you can just put a survey out there and just let it accumulate all the different responses. And you can see here, it says view results. And so you can go in there and actually see who responded and what the
So this is different than the poll that pops up on the screen. A survey is a link, or can you do a survey that pops up on the screen without doing the link? How do you do that?
How I just did it, Andrew, you have to put the link in the chat.
Okay.
Yep.
That's the clarification I needed. Thank you.
Yep,
So
you're welcome.
surveys are a link. Got it.
Yep, you're welcome. Yeah, a survey is definitely different than these. A poll
is within Zoom, within the actual class itself.
Yeah, a poll and a quiz is going to also look differently. Look at this screen as I bring you into, this is also in your web portal. So if you click on polls and quizzes and then you click create, this is what a poll looks like, very similar. So I said, what device are you using today? And if I wanted you to be able to pick more than one, I would pick multiple choice. And then I just started putting all of the different options in there. Can I talk and type at the same time? That is really the question. And then I can even add choices. Of course, I like looking outside the box and giving like Chromebook or iPhone. I really want to know, like sometimes when I would find out things inside my class without asking ahead of time, it stays with me. One time, I think I may have shared this with you when we were in Park City. I taught Poll Everywhere to the Idaho Real Estate Commission, an IDW, and I did not ask the question ahead of time, who had an account already? Who had a Poll Everywhere account? And I did not set it up the way when we met, where we had that day before and then the day after. I didn't have that luxury. And I found out right there that 75% of the people in the room did not have accounts. And that's okay. We still went in and we created them, but it took more time than
it's almost identical. It's almost identical to Google.
It's very similar. You're right, with the different question formats. And once you put it in here and it's in your library, this is brand new, folks. So if you have been following polls and quizzes inside Zoom, for those of you with that mindset, what they've done now is they've let you have more than 10. You used to only have more than 10 inside one meeting active. Now you can have 50. So they opened up this whole library so that there are a couple of states. I work with North Carolina Real Estate Commission, and they have asked their instructors to incorporate polls throughout their classes as part of their update class. And this is towards the beginning of 2023. And so it was very important to many of those instructors where they came to me and they said, we're limited to 10 inside one meeting. And now it's been opened up to 50. So that's pretty neat. Yeah. So what else here about polls, quizzes, surveys, anything?
What is this AI companion? Do you know about that yet? It's new.
I do know about that. I love how you asked that. Do you know about that? So the AI companion, if you can use it right now inside the meeting. If you were called away, let's say Mark got a phone call and he was called away from the meeting. I haven't started it. So let me start it first. If you clicked on it now, if you're already ahead of me, it says you have to send a request. But if I just start it, into the meeting. I'm going to say that who can ask questions? All participants, and then all participants. Okay, so now everybody has the ability to ask the AI companion a question, because I just have turned it on my side. And now you're getting a waiver or whatever, disclaimer that it's on, because AI companion is using artificial intelligence right now from that moment that I turned it on to talk about, to assess and summarize what's being talked about. So if I were to say, yes, Andrew, your question about polls, Zoom polls, it is correct that they are very similar to Google Forms. And yes, Ruth, you're correct in that once you get into your Pro Zoom account, you'll be able to have the cloud recording settings. I'm obviously just saying this right now for the sake of saying it into the meeting. AI is listening to our content. If, let's say, I say Mark got called away and he's on the phone, he's like, what did I miss? What did I miss? What did I miss? And if I were to say, turn on AI companion, and you'll see in the sidebar there, when you click it now, it says catch me up. So when you click on catch me up, you'll see it kind of thinking, and then it gives a synopsis. I got, based on the meeting transcript, the meeting so far is focused on discussing the AI companion. Betsy Sabatini mentioned that the AI companion uses artificial la. See that? So it gives a synopsis of what you missed. Now, I'd love to know, Andrew, because I mentioned your name a lot. If you go ahead and click on was my name mentioned? And you'll get that at the bottom under the 3 dots. It says catch me up, and then it has 3 dots. Was my name mentioned? Can you tell me, please? You can all do it. Was your name mentioned? I have not mentioned Jill yet.
My name's mentioned. That's cool. This is so basically we have the transcript, which is a mile long. This, in a sense, could say, okay, wow, is there actually an ability to summarize the meeting like Cliff Notes, or without going through the whole transcript with AI, or is that just for catching me up?
That's what this is. There's also, okay, so AI companion is during the meeting, right? You get called away, you're taking notes, right? And you look up and you're like, I just missed that. What was that? Now your transcript's going to be much better because that's exactly what it's hearing, right? But this is just it's like a little trendy gadgety thing that they've added on. I also have the ability to start what's called the meeting summary. I just started that. And the meeting summary is going to be emailed to me at the end. So it's going to be a narrative that's emailed to me. And then I can share that with my whole class if I want as well. The meeting summary. Okay. So you kind of have these, this is all going to be in my training in 2024. So again, not to totally pitch all my stuff to you, but the Zoom Mastery right now, it's literally half off. And if you get it now before, I think I have it till Sunday, you can get a free session with me one-on-one. You can, you get it for a lifetime. The Zoom Mastery you get it forever. As long as it's there and I'm here and we're all here and Zoom's here, it's going to be there. So, and I'm putting all of this AI stuff in it and webinars in January, which I just, from the last 3 years, I just focused on meetings. Most of the real estate commissions in all the states I've been teaching in focused on meetings. So I thought to myself, I haven't put any webinar stuff in there, or even like the registration like I did with you today. That will all be in there.
To make sure that if I would be purchasing the correct item, I hate to ask, but may I call you and ask, or how do I know what I'm purchasing? I want to understand your packages or what you have.
Definitely. You can stay on with me at the end if you want. I'll tell you what they are. Or anybody else wants to know. I have, like, I think I mentioned you earlier, one of my tech clubs. The tech club is a membership. So that's where, you're yearning for, getting this with me once a week. I show up live every week unless I'm traveling, and it's only every now and then that happens. But inside the tech club, there are people who have really wanted to get further on in their tech mastery. So we talk about everything, and we have intentions for the week and what you want to accomplish. And whenever anybody has a question, I love Zoom for that. You get on and you feel like you're right across the table from someone. And so, yeah, of course, you can call me, email me, text me, whatever you want. So we're already at an hour. Can you believe that? Let me just go through. I know there was someone who had the question about Instagram, how to put a link. Who was that? That person present? Kathy, are you able to come on, Mike? Because I see you here present. I'd set up my phone here to demonstrate Instagram for you. And if not, I will demonstrate it if you can all stay with me for another 15 minutes. I thought we would do an hour, but this has been so fabulous. I will stay on. Since she's not coming off mic, I am just going to record this into the meeting so that you all have it. And what I'm doing right now is I'm sharing what's considered iPhone. If you go to your share screen, probably can't do it now because I'm sharing, but Zoom allows you to share, here it comes, to share, believe it or not, your iPhone. It's only iPhones right now. If you have an Android phone, you won't be able to do this, but look at this. This is the actual phone. Here, wait, I got to go to screen mirroring like it says. Let me do my thing. Screen mirroring. What's that? Sorry, it's
Sorry,
coming.
talking to my cat.
Is that Kathy?
No, this was Ruth. I was talking to my cat.
Oh, okay. Now you're talking to your cat. That's so cute. All right, so here's my actual phone. I'm sharing this into the Zoom meeting. There we go. And I'm going to go to Instagram. Her question was, how do I share a link? She wanted to know how to share, see right there, how to put a link on Instagram so anyone can sign up for a daily Zoom meeting and how to set up daily revolving meetings. Okay. So in Instagram, I just like highlighting this because first of all, I'm not just all about Zoom, and you and I never even talk social media during our IDW. So there's this whole other area that I support you on is your Instagram, your LinkedIn, your Facebook, TikTok even, I do that one. And the thing to know about Instagram is that when you have your posts, like this is my page, I am Master Tech Class on Instagram. So if you just search me up there or here, I'll show you the QR code. If you wanted to just scan that with your phone, you could do that now as well. And you just point your phone at the screen and you could connect with me on Instagram. But the thing about Instagram is that links do not go into posts. You can type them so people can see them, but they're not linkable. You cannot tap on them from a post or a post. You can put them in a DM, a private message to someone, then they're tappable. But in a post, they're not. So, if it's a long link, someone's not going to you can't even copy it. So here's the answer, Kathy. This is for you. And I'm going to come out of the screen now. So if you do need my account, I can pull that up again. So what you're going to do is you're going to put the link in your profile. So you're going to go to your account page, and then you're going to tap there where it says edit profile. And then you can see it has your name, and then it has your bio. That's important to tell people what you do. And then you can see right there, it says links. And I have 2 currently. I can add an external link. You see there? So for Kathy's answer, she's like, how do I put a link so anybody can sign up for a daily Zoom meeting? So I'm going to show you now how to do that registration like you did for me. You clicked on the link in the email that Sandra sent out, and then you got a registration page. It didn't send you into the Zoom. It sent you to the registration page. So I would put that link in here under add external link. You see that? And then it has URL. That's where you would put the Zoom link, Kathy. All right. So that was the first part of the answer. Where do you get the link? Well, now we're going to come back over here to our Zoom portal. Surprise, surprise. And this time you're going to go to meetings. All right. And her question was how to set up a recurring one. Now in the upper right corner, it says schedule meeting. You're going to click there, that blue button. I see her in the chat. Okay. I didn't even see that, Kathy. Welcome. So, okay. So she's okay. So she's off camera and microphone today. Okay. I'm just noticing the chat now. So Sandra had to go off to another appointment. Okay. So here you go. And this will be in the recording, which I will put inside the, I'll definitely have it in the Tech Club for all of you who either come there, with the free offer or you can just purchase a month. You can take a month of the Tech Club. if you want that as well. But this is what I would do. Let me just call it real estate, the real estate class recurring. Just for the sake, again, I do these samples just so like we're like, oh, that's what she's doing right now. You would put the title of your class. You would put pre-licensing, post-licensing. I had a lot of appraisers when we were there in Park City together. Kathy, I don't know what you teach, but whatever the topic was, you would put there. And there is this area to have a description. You could do that too. That's not required though. Then you do the date and time. This is all under the time zone that your Zoom account has set. I left mine on Eastern. I used to live in New Jersey and now I live in Arizona. I just left it on Eastern because a lot of the stuff that I publish for everybody is in Eastern, and then we just all calculate off of that. But that's certainly up to you. That's certainly up to you. Here it is, Kathy, right there, recurring meeting. When you click on recurring meeting and then you see recurrence, I think you would ask me a recurring maybe every week, whatever. If it was daily, there's weekly, there's monthly. So you would click it there. And then you could say what day of the week, if it's every Friday. Then you would say how many occurrences, and they would get the same Zoom link for all of the occurrences. Beautiful. The other thing I would choose here is this next to registration. I would click required, because this is the thing. Instagram is public, right? So if you're putting out, like, you want people to come to your online state of the market, that's what I'm teaching agents and brokers right now. I'm like, you know what? Use the registration. We don't want people just coming into your Zoom meeting and you don't know who they are. We would like to maybe know their email. We'd like to know where they're from. We would like to know what their questions are, like I asked you prior to coming today. And you can even set your registration so that it's manually approving. They will not get the link until you manually approve them. So you can see here, once you do required, since we have more than one occurrence, it says attendees register once, and then they can attend any, or attendees need to register for each occurrence. This is up to you. Or attendees register once, and then they can choose which one they want. So Zoom is just giving you, the ability to say which one you want. And then when you click save, Ruth, this is like right up your alley. This is like, if you want to now run your own events, I think, Ruth, like you had said to me, you wanted to start doing and send out the invites, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So this is definitely the area that you're going to go into. It's going to look like this. See, there's the class, the date. It does say that it's recurring. It's every week on Fridays for 7 times. That's the settings I chose. I did say registration was involved. So at the top now, next to registration, you are told every time you share that link, this number populates. So you can actually see how many people are registered before it even takes place. That's because we chose registration when we were creating the meeting. And all of this, by the way, is in my training, the Zoom Mastery training. All of this stuff is in there. But here's the thing. When I sent mine out to you, I was able to do this. Zoom in. Okay. I was able to do this. I added questions. So I came in here. Now, look, Andrew, this is not a poll. This is not a quiz. And it's not a survey. These are registration questions that only you get when you register for my event. So you haven't even come yet. So it's like a pre-assessment. If you like to do that, a pre-assessment prior to people coming, this is what you would want to do. Do a registration, add some questions. It does let you say whether you want to know their job title, stuff about them other than their name and email. And then at the bottom here, where you do add question, you can put in what you want to ask. So what I did today was, I asked you which tools, I said, which tools have you used already? It was something like that. Right? And then here, not a fill in the blank, I gave you the multiple choice. And so this is where I came in here and I asked, is it Mentimeter? And you also saw me ask for poll everywhere and so on. Yeah. So anyway, and then I added an option. Was it Flippity? Anyway, and then these, I always tell people, make sure you scroll down because you've got to choose this save button right here, not the save all. Again, I didn't write this, I don't work for Zoom, but I would tell them that this blue button here, save, needs to be clicked first, and then save all. And then when you provide this registration for people, they'll answer all your questions before they come. Now, let's see, calendar. Let's see, Kathy asks in the chat, what calendar? Okay, so there's a couple ways to answer that. I have set up my Zoom account with my Google Calendar. So that's one way. That's so that I see them on my own calendar. If you want to provide a calendar, I don't know if that's what you're asking, there are some other tools. There's one called Add Event. You'd have to search this, but it's Add Event. I'm just putting the name in there. I don't have the link right off the bat. You can certainly message me and I'll lead you to that. We use that, especially if you're teaching nationally and you want to cover different time zones. So you say, I have my own nationwide online mortgage school. So you might want to look into that if you're trying to get them to see like what time it takes place for them. And then you asked reminders. I don't know if you can elaborate on that in the chat, but the reminders, I don't know if that's sending reminders for the recurring events. I think maybe that's what you mean. And if that's the case, I'm going to wait for you to respond. And while you're responding, I'm going to go back to today's event for all of you. It was here previous because we're in it. So it was right here. This is the one I set up for all of you. And we're in it right now. So I don't know how far it's going to let me go in here. But prior to you coming, yeah, okay, sending texts or emails to remind people. So when you set up registration, I sent you 2 reminders. So you got the initial one when you registered. And then sometime, I think it was yesterday at 5 p.m. Mountain Time, I sent another reminder. And then I sent another one this morning. And so what I did is I came in here, I viewed all the registrants, here you all are. And then I just clicked the box at the top that says send them to everybody. And then look at that right there, resend confirmation email. And that comes from Zoom, not from Betsy Sabatini technology training. It comes from Zoom because the link, this is a internal tool.
Can that be set up as an auto send?
No, not at this time. Not through the native Zoom. If you wanted it set up as an auto send, I use a platform called Kajabi. I can get you a 30-day trial for that if you're interested. Again, I just happen to use that one. I'm trying to think, auto sends, you can use Constant Contact if you have a membership on that. It's a subscription, I mean. You can use MailChimp, that's a free one. I'm trying to think of some of the other auto sends but I use Kajabi because it allows me to put my videos in there and everything's all included. So I can pre-schedule emails. Texts, Kathy, by the way, text, that's a separate tool to send text reminders. So you can message me on the side. I didn't have that answer prepared for you, but I could certainly find you the best tool. There's also another one that's called ManyChat. I'll just put the name in here. Lots of great tools. ManyChat. I have a friend and colleague who is an expert at this. And that's when, let's see, have you ever answered somebody they say, you're reading their social media post and it says, and if you want some information on this, comment Utah in the comments. I don't know. And when you put that word in the comments, all of a sudden you're given an automatic link. I don't know if any of you have seen that, but there's sometimes SurveyMonkey will do that. There's, anyway, these are some of the newer sort of like automatic tools that have popped up in maybe the recent 3 years since we've all really been congregating online. But I will, Kathy, I have your email through the registration and I'll get that text app to you. And if anybody else here wants that, just put that in the chat that you want the text app name and I'll email that to you. At this time, I'm just going to ask for any final questions. I mean, you can see, I remember I had this feeling when I was with all of you in Park City and we started to talk Zoom and it was really, aside from the tools, Mentimeter, Poll Everywhere, Flippity, making our classes engaging with Google Forms, this whole area of Zoom that I specialize in, I'm a Zoom expert, is always changing. And I can even see here, you're not only using it for your own business, use it for your lead generating, use it for your students and teaching them. how to do that. And then, of course, anytime you can teach, and like Kathy teaches nationwide, Mark probably his objectives are more internal, having internal department meetings and status meetings, and even disseminating information out. It gets so easy over Zoom. However, gotta know what all these features are in order to really feel professional in here and have it go smoothly as it does in person. So there we go. So Andrew, that's okay. By
I
using,
think I'm playing. I'm trying to learn.
I love that you're playing. He's like, she's wrapping up. I'm going to try one more thing. So by using a whiteboard as he did, and I'll just finish on this, the new whiteboard experience inside Zoom is fantastic. And what he's noticing here, and I'll just draw a little sticky note on mine because this is me right here. This lets you create and discuss different concepts and not just share from your PowerPoint. And what he's done is he's shared the whiteboard and he's allowed us all to collaborate. And so this will be in our Zoom meetings when we are done. So that is also in the training as well. So let me just wrap up. You can keep going in your own Zoom account on that. It does have the ability at the top to close it, just so that I can wrap up, because we've been on for almost an hour and a half. Is there any other question for me prior to us finishing today?
Other than just knowing what to purchase if I need some information. So I'll stick around with that to know pricing and exactly what I need to buy.
Yep, I will. Are there any other questions on the topics or content anybody has? Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to hop right into talking about my Zoom Mastery training. If you want to hear more about that, please hang on and I'll show you this. If not, because you can see here, I'm just going to talk a little bit about what the Zoom Mastery, it's a digital product and it's self-paced, it's video-based, like independent study. So like if you wanted to just watch videos that I provide, on all of these features, that's what Zoom Mastery has. And in January, I am jam-packing it with all of the features that are new: AI, whiteboards, notes, Zoom clips, polls, quizzes, surveys, and that will be in this video-based product. So what I have here is, you can see here, this website I've provided, it's in the chat. So this is the Zoom Mastery link that you see in there. And it also, I'm going to show you this little graphic. You can certainly take a picture of this with your phone. I can put this in the chat if you want to take a copy of it with you. Let me do that for you. So right now, the link that I've provided provides for you those free 30 days in the Tech Club. So you get live tech support with me. Text me, email me all your questions. Show up every Monday. We have a live Zoom every Monday at 3:00 p.m. Eastern. And if you can't make that, every session is recorded and it's put in the members portal. And you have all the videos. The Tech Club has been going on for about 1.5 years. So you've got all of the videos in there. And I have an answer vault of Zoom answers. And they're all like 2 to 4 minutes each. So all different kinds of things, a lot of the questions you've asked today. I also am giving you a free mini course, and that's called Waiting Room Game. So today, come into my waiting room prior to the today's session starting, and you saw my video playing, and I have a promo video, but I like to teach that to you, how to make videos, and especially if you wanted to have a game, some sort of question and answer that you're intriguing them to stay around, and then your attendance goes up. I know if it's a CE class, they're staying, but a lot of the times we want them to come to all of our other events as well. And with a waiting room game or video, you can do that. And so I have a course that has all of these different templates, and you can create them in Canva. And then this bundle, the link that I'm putting in the chat that I put earlier, also comes with a free one-on-one coaching session with me, which those value at $300. So it's really, if you're interested in this and this is something that you need, again, not pitching my stuff. I mean, I want you to know what you can get with me. And I had asked Sandra ahead of time if this would be okay, because sometimes you're looking for this type of support and training, and I'm the one to come to when it comes to learning Zoom and mastering it. I'm the one to meet with. I'm very confident about that. So this, however, you need to get in by Sunday at midnight. Eastern time, because I'll be wrapping up everything for the holidays and going back east. So I wanted to close the doors on that then. So that, Andrew, is the bundle, which I call Zoom Mastery Fortified. When you click that link, you do see this website. And it does, if you want to look at this, browse it. Oopsie. Oh yeah, okay. You can see I go through how to join meetings, how to schedule them, how to host them, how to share screen content, how to annotate, how to create breakout rooms, how to do polls, how to run reports. Yeah, it's an all-encompassing video-based digital product.
The Master Tech Club, the types of things you talk about, that's just open session where we can ask questions then? And what kind of services does that provide for if maybe I don't need the full mastery on the Zoom because I'm not going to need every tool. Would this be sufficient? And if I had a Zoom question occasionally, can you ask that in your mastery session?
Yep, that's correct. So at $97 per month, and it's not like you're locked in, you have to do it every month. I recommend it every month. I think it's the best $97, and I can show you some of the testimonials from current members. This is a membership, and we meet every Monday live. And yes, I have office hours. So you have a way of submitting your question ahead of time. So I'm going to take, for example, Kathy asked the question about apps. Now I'm doing this session with you today, so I'm going to get back to her on what the typical questions are. But let's say January rolls around and you're like, oh my gosh, I really need to know from Betsy how to, do the following. I'm setting up my Google form, or I'm setting up my survey in Zoom, or I want to set up my first meeting with registration. And I know she went over this, but I'm now seeing this one area that I really don't know what to do. And I'm going to Zoom and I can't get an answer there. And I'm going to YouTube and I can't get an answer there. And I just want to know from her. And I don't necessarily need a whole one-on-one coaching session. The club is perfect for that because $97, they're all group sessions. So it's group mastermind. So you are in there, it's an hour each Monday live, and you can submit your questions ahead of time. And I provide the solutions, and you can email me, text me throughout the whole month.
If we didn't make one, are they recorded so that we can watch them?
Yep, they're all recorded, and we have a member portal. Let me show you what that looks like. So you go into the member portal, and this is
now, are they all stored in Zoom? So when somebody does access these recordings, if you have all of these like in an archive, is that through Zoom or is that through where's that how does that work?
Yeah, so remember I mentioned the word before, Kajabi. I use a platform to on the side, Andrew, just as a thing behind the scenes with me, I use a program called Kajabi. And like I said, I'm a partner at Kajabi. And if you have, actually, there's a special coming up too. I'm just going to show you the website, kajabi.com. I mean, if you want to learn about it, I can get you a free trial for Kajabi. So that's an aside. I use this platform to store all of my videos that are in here in Master Tech Class. That's my training online. And when you become a member, you have your own member login. And so you would go here and you'd have your member login. I have a test training account. I'm just going to sign into that. Let's hope my password is still the same. Good. So then you would get this library of features when you log in to your member login. And you can see right here, it's the tech toolbox. So as a member of the tech club, you would go into the tech toolbox, and over here on the left are, first of all, there's a current month, So we have all of that there, what the calendar is, what's going on in the current month in the membership. And then there's starter videos. So if you're a beginner at right here. So if you're a beginner, maybe you want a tour, you want Windows starter, Zoom starter. So there's like basics. I've got those as well. And then I've got this, which is the Tech Answer Vault. And this is what I was talking about. We've got short 2 to 4 minute videos on all of these topics. So this is different than Zoom Mastery, because Zoom Mastery is like, hey, everybody, it's Betsy here. And in this module, we're going to talk about annotating. That's how I sound in Zoom Mastery, because Zoom Mastery is exactly that. I need to make sure you know all of the features. Whereas these Answer Vault videos are from our group mastermind, where people are asking a question and then I provide the solution. So if you're looking for curriculum on soup to nuts, start to finish, I would go with Zoom Mastery. You'll get a free month in the Tech Club, plus you'll get a free session with me. So right there, that's a $400 value, plus you're getting the $500 training, and you're getting it all for $500. So it's kind of like you're getting almost $1,000 worth of stuff for $500.
So if a company had their own website, in theory, they could just be taking all the Zooms and creating a link. They would actually just download the MP4 or whatever onto their computer, onto their website, and then people would just go to the website to watch the videos or watch the information if it wasn't in a cloud storage like this, right?
Like you said, if a company, just say that again. If a company
Well, if you had your own website, you just take the video, instead of putting it here, you put it on your website and label it what it is.
Well, yeah. I mean, the thing is, if you've ever designed someone's website or even had your own website, once you start loading videos, they take up a lot of space. And so my platform, which I use, it's my expense to myself because I have to organize them all like this. Videos take up a lot of space. So my Zoom cloud doesn't have enough space. So my Kajabi cloud, we'll call it that, is made for it. So I have hours. I have over probably 100 hours or more of video in here. And I couldn't do that in my Google Cloud without paying so much more. And then I also send emails, and I have so many more features in here. So yeah, you could do it on your company website, but you would have to have it set up properly for that. Yeah. There you go. So I'm going to save the chat for everybody. I see Kathy, you're still present. Ruth, do you have any questions for me? I know that you had some questions in Park City prior to us.
No, you've been very helpful.
Okay, wonderful. I'm glad. Andrew, anything further?
No, I think I'll just reach out. Can I have your contact information? I guess your cell phone number was listed on the IDW work stuff, but
yeah, I'll put it here in the chat, and you can take a picture with your phone. I am reachable by phone at 327-0830, and that's a 201. Or you can get me Jersey, still Jersey. Or you can get me at mastertechclass.com. So there you go. There's my phone. There's my email. Betsy at mastertechclass.com. Okay, no typos in there. And those are the best ways. You can text me at that number. That's a cell number. That's the most direct way. Or hey, if you remember in October, if you found me in the Zoom app, the Zoom team chat app, if you like that, you can still get me in there. If you connected with me during the class, I didn't delete anybody from there, so you can still get me through that.
I guess I'd have to find the link, but
I can send one to you right now, Andrew, in there if you want that. So thank you, everyone. It's always great to see everybody there. I see Andrew in here, so I'm going to chat with him, and I'm just going to say hi, and then there you're going to get a message right now. I hope everyone has a wonderful Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah. whatever you celebrate. I am celebrating Christmas back in New Jersey with my parents still live there. They are both 91 and very blessed. And so I'll be traveling back there, and I'll be there for about a week. And when I get back here, I'm going to be putting all of these new recordings into the product. So I'm very, very excited. So however I meet up with you in the future, whether it's one-on-one with just questions every now and then. Actually, some of the people I met in Park City have been doing that. Just coming in, hiring me for a one-on-one coaching session whenever they need it. And those are $300 whenever you want me, just for an hour. So again, this bundle I have between now and Sunday is a really good value. So, Instagram, you can certainly share, follow me on Instagram. If I'll put that here in the chat, remember. So if you do like Instagram, you can certainly find me at Master Tech Class. Oops. Add on. Oops, let me get rid of that one. Let me do that again. Instagram at Master Tech, 2 S's this time, Betsy. There you go. So if you like social media, you can certainly follow me there. And yes, send me a private message in Instagram. That will certainly work as well. And I will follow you back if you are very consistent with your social media. I'll certainly follow you back as well. So how about that, everybody? Great job today, an hour and a half. Woohoo!
Yeah, thank you very much. This has been good information, and I look forward to
Very welcome.
connecting and seeing you more.
You're very welcome. Very welcome. Good luck with everything. And yeah, let me know how else I can help, okay?
Okay.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Take care. Take care,
Thank you.
everybody. Bye.